Hi guys, my name's Bex, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing to you my highly anticipated read from July to September. So it is that time again. It is time for me to tell you guys what I'm anticipating from July to September, and I'm so excited because there are some amazing books coming out in the next 3 months. Now, this video is a little bit late. This should have gone up last month, but better late than never, really, isn't it? So today I wanted to share with you guys the 7 anticipated reads I have for this quarter. And without further ado, let's just dive in. So as usual, we'll be going all the way up to my most anticipated for the next 3 months, starting with number 7, which is Loki, Where Mischief Lies by Mackenzie Lee. And this one releases on September 3rd. This is following, of course, Loki, the god of mischief, before he has gone toe-to-toe with the Avengers. Like in his younger years, when all he wants to do is prove himself, but everyone around him suspects him of villainy. But that is except for Amora, who is Asgard's sorcerer in training. With Loki and Amora feeling kind of like kindred spirits, she is the only one that kind of truly understands him, but that is until they cause the destruction of Asgard's most prized possession. But this leaves Amora banished to Earth, where her powers will slowly fade to nothing. With the only person who looked at his magic as a gift and not a threat banished, Loki slips further into the shadow of his universally loved brother Thor. And this story kind of goes from there. I love that we're getting an insight into Loki and into Loki's character prior to him being in the Avengers. I am a huge fan of Loki. I think he is probably my favorite villain, not villain. I love that his character is complex and morally grey, that you can't really see him as truly the villain, and I love that. So I'm really excited to see what Mackenzie Lee does with his character. Moving on to number 6, it is Queen of Ruin by Tracy Banghart, and Queen of Ruin comes out on the 2nd of July. This is the second book that comes after Grace and Fury, so I can't go into too much detail, but Grace and Fury follows 2 girls, Nomi and Serena, and they live in a world where women have absolutely no rights. One of these girls finds herself in the palace and the other finds herself on an island prison where she has to fight to survive, and both of these girls and their stories kind of interweave, where like one wrong move could cost them their lives. So this one, Queen of Ruin, follows on from that. And the first one really surprised me. I liked it a lot more than I thought it would, and I feel like a lot of books have the women don't have much power, but this one was done quite well and I really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to see what Tracy does with the next one in this series, and hopefully I like it as much as I did Grace and Fury. Number 5 on my list is The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen, and this book releases on the 30th of July. And this story surrounds a future chieftain, a fugitive prince, and a 2 cunning bodyguard. And this story follows Fi, who abides by one rule, and that is look after your own. The cast of the Crows are the undertakers and the mercy killers of this society. They kind of cop like a lot of abuse from the other casts. When they are called to collect the royal dead, she's hoping they find the payout of a lifetime. But she finds that the royals that they pick up are quite alive and they have faked their own death. But then she is offered a wager she can't refuse, and she has to now protect them. So this story goes from there, and I actually heard about The Merciful Crow by Madison Mary from Princess of Paperback, and I absolutely adore her channel. I will leave a link down below. But she was raving about this one, so I had to put it on my highly anticipated reads immediately because she made it sound really intriguing. Number 4 on my list is Wilder Girls by Rory Power, and this one releases on the 9th of July. Now I've actually just ordered this one and I'm so excited to get my hands on it. This one has kind of been pitched to me as something really dark and really gory, and I'm excited for it. I don't know why my tastes have been leaning towards that direction at the moment, but after I read Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant, I thought, oh, I need a little bit more atmospheric, eerie, gory stories in my life. So I'm hoping Wilder Girls fills that void. Basically, in this story, there is the tox going around, which is like sort of like a plague, I guess. And the Raxter's School for Girls has been put under quarantine. And I think what happens here is when the tox takes over, it killed all the teachers first, and then it started infecting the students, and it kind of causes their bodies to like morph in some way. So these school of girls are cut off from the rest of the world, and they've kind of been left to fend for themselves, but they kind of are stuck in this school because if they go outside the fence, the tox has kind of made the woods really wild and dangerous. Then Bright goes missing, and Hetty will do absolutely whatever it takes to get her back, including going outside the fence. So excited about this one. It's giving me chills just thinking about it. So I really hope I like this one. Moving on to number 3. Number 3 in my highly anticipated reads for the next 3 months is Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman. This is the second book in the Heartstopper, like, kind of graphic novel series. And this releases on the 11th of July, and I've also pre-ordered this one already because I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Heartstopper Volume 1 was fantastic, and it's basically boy meets boy, boys become friends, and then kind of boys fall in love. It's the story of Nick and Charlie, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. It's really just heartwarming. Art design is very hand-drawn, but the story is just absolutely gorgeous. So I can't wait to get my hands on Volume 2 and see what is in store for Charlie and Nick. Number 2 on my list, and now we're going into my highly anticipated reads that I've been anticipating all year, and this one is Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. And this one releases on the 3rd of September, and I'm so ready for the stabs. J. Kristoff is one of my favorite writers, and this story is just phenomenal. I can't really tell you much about Dark Dawn, but Nevernight is the first book in the trilogy, and it is following a girl named Mia Corvia, who, after her whole family is taken from her and her father murdered, she kind of lives on the streets for the bit until she tries to get into the Red Church, which is basically a school for assassins. It's kind of about her wanting to seek revenge on those who kind of tore her family apart and learning how to kill people, so love that. It's really good. This is the conclusion. It's going to be heartbreaking because all of J. Kristoff's writing is, so I'm excited to see where he goes with this one and what happens in the end. And last but not least, my highly anticipated read, my number 1 on this list, is Capturing the Devil by Kerri Maniscalco, and this one comes out on the 10th of September, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this. Again, this is the 4th book in a series, and I cannot tell you much about it because it would be spoiling the whole one for you, but the first book is Stalking Jack the Ripper, and it follows Audrey Rose, who is a young girl growing up in the 1880s where women were kind of portrayed as a certain thing. They were housewives, they raised the children, they cleaned. They didn't want to become forensic scientists. And so she starts assisting her uncle in the lab where she meets the dashing Thomas Cresswell, and from there she stumbles into the Jack the Ripper cases and is trying to help stop Jack the Ripper before he tears apart London. So love this. This series is one of my absolute favorites. I love listening to the audiobooks, and I'm so excited to get my hands on Capturing the Devil. This story has kind of grown on me through each one, and I am just excited to see what happens with Audrey Rose in the end and how she solves, I assume, another murder. But that is it for me today, guys. Those are my top 7 highly anticipated reads from July to September, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more and have not already, and chat to me down in the comments. Let me know what reads you're anticipating in July, August, and September. I would love to hear. But that is it for me today, guys. I make videos every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you in a new one. Bye!